Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, who borrowed us the Bible to do a parade during the swearing. That is how bad it was, how wicked the previous administration was, to the point where I couldn't pack to government house for more than a year because everything was looted, but that is not the case today.
On her part, the Rivers State Deputy Governor Ipalibo Harry Banigo expressed appreciation to the governor for giving her the opportunity to be the first female deputy governor since the creation of the state in 1967. She also said, Governor Wike will be remembered for his gender policy, which has allowed another woman, Professor Ngozi Odu, to be her successor. The commissioners took turns to eulogize the governor for his performance. They also thanked him for the opportunity to serve the state and assured him of their continued loyalty.
When they bring out the brochure of Rivers State at 50, my pictures appears as a commissioner. As I go to the embassy for any visa, I'm a commissioner who will give me visa immediately. God will bless you. Please, sir, where I have not met up to your standard, I am sorry.
If I have to stand here and talk about His Excellency, I think a 100-page book will not suffice. I came to know His Excellency back in 1999.
Your Excellency, the whole world that is watching this special budgetary session will be shocked at what Your Excellency has achieved for the service of the state.
Your Excellency, yours is a remarkably successful government.
The governor-elect Siminalayi Ifuara and the deputy governor-elect Professor Ngozi Odu attended the meeting. Earlier, during a public lecture and book presentation in honor of Governor Wike at the Dr. Obiwale Conference Center in Port Harcourt, Governor Wike urged Rivers people not to make comparisons between his administration and that of the incoming administration in terms of lifestyle and project delivery.
People should also understand no two persons can be the same. No two persons can be the same. Don't compare that the way I relate with you should be the way the incoming administration must relate to you. No. We have different style, but what's important is being able to deliver what will make our people to be happy. Don't rate us the same.
He said the governor-elect never lobbied to be governor.
He's a very good person. He's somebody you can rely on. His yes is yes. That I can tell you. When people were struggling to be governor, he never one day came to me that, sir, I'm interested. He never one day. Only those who don't have the interest of the state were those masquerading themselves running around. Those whom I know that will sell the state the next day. And I thank God, they have all left now.
Moving on, the Supreme Court has dismissed the suit seeking the disqualification of Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima as presidential and vice presidential candidates of the APC. A 5-member panel of the Supreme Court held today that PDP lacked the locus standi to institute the suit. The panel said the PDP is not a member of the APC. The PDP had claimed that Shettima's nomination as Tinubu's running mate was in breach of some sections of the Electoral Act 2022. 39 additional judges will man the election petition tribunals currently sitting across the Federation. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, said the judges were found worthy to be appointed as additional members of the tribunals. Administering the oath on the newly appointed Election Petition Tribunal judges, the CJN instructed them to leave above board. An international non-governmental organization, Human Rights Watch, has urged President-elect Bola Tinubu to place human rights at the center of both domestic and foreign policy considerations. The NGO, in a statement, also advised Mr. Tinubu to take aim at critical levels of insecurity, ensure protection for civilians and accountability for rights abuses, protect Nigerians' rights to freedom of expression, and prioritize efforts towards the realization of an adequate standard of living for all. A national women leader of the APC, Betta Edu, says Nigerians will beg the president-elect Bola Tinubu to contest for a second term after 4 years in office. Ms. Edu, while speaking on Channels Television, said the president-elect is fully prepared to hit the ground running immediately after assuming office. She said the former Lagos governor will work on the low points of the outgoing administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is expected to lead a team of experts in observing the general elections in Sierra Leone on June 24. According to a statement published on its website on Thursday, the Commonwealth Secretary-General Patricia Scotland confirmed that Professor Osinbajo accepted her request to chair the Commonwealth Observer Group. The Secretary-General is said to have constituted the Observer Group upon invitation from the Electoral Commission for the Sierra Leone. Still ahead on the news this afternoon, 29 youths paraded over drug abuse in Omok, still in OSPAC custody. Do stay tuned. A human rights lawyer, Harry Ekine, has criticized OSPAC for parading 29 youths around the Omok community in Ogba-Igbe-Mandoni local government area over drug abuse. Mr. Ekine, who is also the national legal advisor of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, described their recent actions as unlawful. He said OSPAC's approach to tackling drug abuse in Omok violates the Anti-Torture Act.
OSPAC arrest any person who did anything, and then they took out any measure of punishment in terms of maybe torture, exposing them to degrading treatment, of shaming, tell people to dance naked in the market square, you want to shame them. It is unlawful. It's a violation of their rights to dignity and of humane treatment. It's against the provision of the Anti-Torture Act, because that act has expanded the provision and definition for torture, not just the brutality in terms of beating, but even exposing someone to that kind of psychological demeaning and treatment is torture.
Mr. Ekine, however, advised the victims to seek redress in court if their rights have been violated.
OSPAC is not any state authority. They don't even have a power to do what they are doing. What OSPAC could do is what any ordinary citizen could do. At best, OSPAC, they are individuals. If you arrest any person committing a crime, hand over the person to the police. That's all. That's where their powers end. They can't prosecute anybody. It's violation of their rights. They should go to court. Do you know that going to court to enforce their right has nothing to do with whether they committed the offenses? They shouldn't even be afraid. Even if they were caught to be stealing, that court will not go into whether the person stole or not. That court is not looking at the criminal allegation. That court is not going to find that person guilty or not. It's not going to try that offense. The process the lawyer will prepare for these persons will be purely a process on the enforcement of fundamental rights. It's not going into the issue of the offense they allegedly have committed.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has not reacted to this. In the meantime, the Analogous Security and Peace Committee, OSPAC, says the 29 young men who were paraded for taking illicit drugs in Omok are undergoing rehabilitation in their custody. The OSPAC Chief Intelligence Officer, Chinedu Amadike, told correspondent Emeka Otuka that the youths will be made to swear an oath after the rehabilitation process before being allowed to reunite with their families.
After parading them, we will take them back to our office and start rehabilitating them. They will still smoke that inside the NDLEA. I've been in NDLEA several times. So, but if they stay in OSPAC office, we monitor them, we oath them, they will sign surety, take oath that they will not take these hard drugs again. That is how we want to follow them up. They are under our custody. We have agents for all of them. They are following them up. If they find out that they're taking, we'll catch you and return you back.
The OSPAC Chief Intelligence Officer also spoke on the effects of the illicit drugs on the victims, who are between the ages of 16 and 50.
Some of them are 16, some of them are 40. You have 50-years-old man. He has left his family. If you watch these people, you see how dry they are. Not that they're not eating, they're eating. They have money to eat. But this drug, especially this eyes, is killing our youth. This eyes is killing our youth. If I should show you picture of people that are mad now, people that I know before, like early this year, they are not mad. But now they are mad. You with what is happening with our youth. We are going to sustain it. The community should call me. If they find out, then I will come. I will catch them, lock them up, treat them.
In another development, River State now has a new commissioner of police. He is CP Emeka Nwoi. It followed a fresh posting and redeployment of senior police officers. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Dejobi said the Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali Baba, ordered the posting of CP Okunefiang to head the Department of Finance and Administration ICT Force Headquarters, Abuja. The statement said the IGP tasked the Commissioners of Police to deploy all assets to ensure sanity, professional standards and discipline in their new places of assignment. In business news, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has urged the incoming government of President-elect Bola Tinubu to take steps to increase the country's revenue base. The resident representative IMF Nigeria office, Ari Eisen, who said this during a virtual forum on the Nigerian debt situation, also advised the incoming government to drastically reduce dependence on getting in revenues. Entertainment news: Anil Bakusi is out of jail and off to Europe for his tour. The renowned Afrobeat musician has kicked off his summer tour across the UK, Italy, Spain and Slovenia, which had been on hold because of his trial. And for some sporting news, Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah says he's devastated the club have missed out on a spot in next season's Champions League. Salah posted his comments on social media shortly after Liverpool's failure to finish in the top four was confirmed by Manchester United beating Chelsea yesterday evening. Liverpool will finish fifth and play in next season's Europa League.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
The U.S. Treasury Department says Russian private military group Wagner may be operating through Mali and other African countries to hide its attempt to get military equipment for Moscow's war against Ukraine. A statement said the group's employees may have been trying to procure mines, drones, radar and other equipment for the war. The statement announced sanctions on Wagner's Mali chief Ivan Maslov. The U.S. accusations suggest it might be trying to exploit the abundance of arms in Mali. The country saw an influx of weaponry after the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya in 2011 as mercenaries fighting for the former leader returned home. And that just about does it here, all the news this afternoon. But before we go, here's a quick look at the major stories. Earlier on, we told you Governor Wike has dissolved his cabinet. You heard 29 youths paraded over drug abuse in Omok are still in custody of OSPAC. We brought you a report that River State now has a new commissioner of police. I told you the Supreme Court has dismissed the PDP suit challenging double nomination of Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima. And from the foreign scene, you heard the US says a Russian private military group, Wagner, may be smuggling weapons from Mali. The news was edited by Martha Okere Nkem. Light rain showers expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. Do remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I'm Carl Orakwe. Goodbye.